Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about how to sideboard with mono white hammer in Modern. We're going to talk about how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks, and hopefully you can take those lessons on how to sideboard against all the other decks. Let's jump into it. The most popular deck in Modern is Red-Black Scam, also known as Red-Black Evoke or Red-Black Midrange if you're weird like MTG Goldfish. You're going to be bringing in... Almost forgot to switch the deck. Sorry, that's a little out of order, but this is the deck that I did a deck tech on yesterday. You should check out that deck tech if you want to learn more about the deck. My head's a little fried right now. Surge of Salvation, really good against removal spells. Drannith Magistrate, mostly for Cascade decks. Sanctifier Endivic for red-black decks and graveyardy decks. Solitude if we need extra removal. Pithy Needle for activated abilities, and Nettle Cyst for things that, or for decks that we end up stalling against. That being said, like I was saying, Red-Black Evoke, we are bringing in Surge of Salvation, Sanctifier Endivic, Surge of Salvation to protect our combos, Sanctifier Endivic because it's just like an unkillable, unblockable creature for them. And we're bringing in Solitude to deal with their scam. There's nothing we really care about Pithy Needling, so we're taking out Pithy Needle. The games go pretty quick, so cards like Forge Anew don't really do much. And for a similar reason, we don't really go super wide, so I like taking out the Nettle Cyst. And we need cards that fully do stuff, so I like taking out Ornithopters, but if there are no Ornithopters, I'm not a big fan of Paradise Mantle. So I like taking out these guys, and this is how I sideboard against Rakdos Evoke. The second most popular deck is 4-color Omnath. Against 4-color Omnath, I'm a fan of Surge of Salvation because of things like Solitude and Leyline Binding and all these things, Fury even. Also like Pithy Needle for their Planeswalkers. And the second Nettle Cyst is awesome just so we can go super, super dense on threats. That being said, a lot of their cards are creature spells. They have a few non-creatures that we care about. But when Esper Sentinel can be answered with Ren and 6, and often it will just die to like a Fury or a Solitude or something like that and get no value. I like taking out Esper Sentinel and not worrying about it, and I like shaving an Ornithopter, and this is how I sideboard against 4 or 5-color Omnath. The third most popular deck is the Rhinos deck. Against Rhinos, the name of the game is just doing our thing and stopping them from doing their thing, which I guess is all of Magic. That was a pointless sentence. We're bringing in Drannith Magistrate so that they can't do their Cascadey stuff, and I'm a fan of Surge of Salvation just because they end up with a lot of removal. The games go pretty quick though, so I like taking out Forge Anew, and we don't really grind with them that much, so I like taking out Nettle Cyst. Same thing with Pithy Needle, there's nothing we're really trying to stop there. And then we're just going to shave onto Ornithopters and call it good against Rhinos. The fourth most popular deck is It Murktide? Against Murktide, there's not a lot of cards in my sideboard I really, really want because I want them to be on the back foot the whole time. However, I really don't like Pithy Needle in the main deck, but I absolutely love everything else, and so we're just going to bring in one Surge of Salvation, and this is what I want to do against Murktide. I love the rest of my main deck against them. The fifth most popular deck is the Mirror Match, is Hammer Time. Against the Mirror, we are bringing in Solitudes, we are bringing in Pithy Needles to stop the like equip effects and Stoneforge Mystic and stuff like that. And we're bringing in Nettle Cyst because very often we can just end up staring at each other. We're going to be bringing out Surge of Salvation. Oh, hey, kitty. The games go pretty fast, so not a big fan of Forge Anew. I like shaving a Springleaf Drum, and then I like shaving 2 Ornithopters, and that's how I sideboard against the Mirror Match. The sixth most popular deck is Amulet Titan. Against Amulet Titan, love the Solitudes, and then we're taking out a bunch of the slow stuff. And there you have it. This is how I sideboard against Amulet Titan. The seventh most popular deck is Yawgmoth. Against the Yawgy Boy, I'm a fan of Solitude. I'm also a big fan of Pithy Needle so they can't combo us, being able to just Pithy Needle Yawgmoth. That being said, not a big fan of Forge Anew. Don't really care for Surge of Salvation. It's just really corner casey. And then similarly, I like shaving on the Giver of Runes for similar reasons. So I sideboard against Yawgmoth. The eighth most popular deck is Burn. Obviously, Surge of Salvation is amazing against Burn. Sanctifier Endivic is pretty good as well. And now we're just looking at cards that might be bad or very, very slow against Burn. Because it's all about comboing. Like, it's all about ending the game. So let's see what's bad. Like, Pithy Needle does nothing. Forge Anew and Nettle Cyst are just too slow. And while there's an argument for Solitude, I think by the time we can make Solitude do the lifelink thing, we're likely dead most of the time anyway, so this is how I sideboard against Burn. The ninth most popular deck is Mono Green Tron. Obviously, Pithy Needle is amazing. Being able to say things like either the Planeswalkers, like the Great Creator, like the One Ring, like Oblivion Stone. There's just so many good cards to name with Pithy Needle. And we're just going to be shaving the Forge Anews and just calling it good there with Tron. We really, really got to kill them as fast as possible, and it's a really good matchup. And the 10th most popular deck and the last deck we're talking about is Living End. Against Living End, Drannith Magistrate is our homie. I'm also a reasonable fan of Sanctifier Endivic. I think it's worth it. It means they can't cycle Architects of Will or Street Wraith or Oliphant, and I think that's like enough. Now we're going to be cutting on Pithy Needle We don't really care about this like creature protection stuff. However, the games go really fast, so I like shaving these creatures. And we're just going to keep in 2 Surge of Salvation, mostly for the griefs, but like that's the only thing it's good against because they're not trying to remove our stuff besides like the versions with Fury. So if you see Fury, I do like bringing in these extra 2 Surge of Salvations and maybe shaving 2 Ornithopters or something like that. So that's how I sideboard against Living End. Well, there you have how I sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Modern with Mono White Hammer. If you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.